בכל הנבראים שבעולם. And so is in all the creatures in the world, השמות שנקראים בהם בלשון הקודש, the names that they're called on in the holy language, לשון הקודש, and אותיות הדיבור, they are the letters from the expression and the sayings of Hashem, המשתלשלות ממדרגה למדרגה, that goes down like a chain from one wing to the other, from one level to the other, מעשרה מאמרות from the 10 sayings of Hashem שבתורה. How does it come down from the 10 sayings? But the general, like should be a sky, should be the earth, how does it come to particular creatures? על ידי חילופים ותמורות. Then that comes from exchanging and replacing from the letters האותיות ברלה השערים in the 231 gates עד שמגיעות ומתלבשות באותו נברא until it gets done and gets included in that creature so to give him life. Why does it need to go that direction? לפי שאין פרטי הנבראים, because still it's the individual and the details, creatures יכולים לקבל חיותם, they cannot get their life, the existence, מעשרה מאמרות for the 10 sayings and essays עצמם שבתורה. Why? שהחיות שנמשך מהם עצמם, the life, what it is in there, what comes from it, גדול מאוד, it's very big, large, and much bigger מבחינת נבראים פרטיים. It's bigger than the detailed small creatures. ואין כוח בהם לקבל חיות. They cannot receive that life, אלא only על ידי שיורד החיות ומשתלשל ממדרגה למדרגה. תודה. We'll stop here. We'll explain. We maybe give a few examples of why do we need to diminish and concentrate, because when we say it comes down from, everything starts from the unlimited, because Hashem is unlimited.
It's
unlimited.
Unlimited, yeah.
So if you will take the glory, the brightness of the sun, can we watch it? Can we look on the sun? We'll get blind. We cannot. It gets dark in the house. To be able to perceive that light, we have to put something in it, either we put sunglasses, screen it, so then we get the light, but much less. Much less, we are able to perceive it. If it's more than that, we cannot perceive it. Why? Because the eye is not enough of a vessel to get such light. We'll take another example. If a genius lecturer will come here and he will start to explain it, a philosophy, the way he sees it, who will understand? No one.
Yeah.
Why? Because our brain is so small compared to him that when he will say something,
There's no exercise. The mind is the exercise. Then he have.
But not only exercises, we are not at the level. So that's why he has to give an example, and then example explain, and then go down to another level because the example we also do not understand. So we go down every time. I would say the language changes. When he speaks in his eye level, that's one kind of language. When he speaks in a lower level, the language changes completely. Like when he speaks in his level, he will speak very abstract. When he has to speak in our level, he has to be very physical. We should be able to have the ordinate.
What is called in figures literaire. It means figure like a parable, les paraboles, des choses pour enseigner, pour montrer, pour...
understand French, but probably
Yeah,
you
yeah,
understand,
to
to bring
teach.
it down to the level, to our level. Then that means in whoever the recipient is at a lower level, to be able to receive that light, that logic or whatever, he has to bring it down from level to level. If you take a cup of water and you put it, you open the faucet very strong, or next to a wall with storming, and you'll put the cup, nothing will stay in the cup. Why? Because the cup cannot receive it. If a bright person, which is very smart, will try to explain to a kid, to a child, something very deep, what will the child receive? What will he understand? Not only will not understand, he will lose what he has already.
Gonna be frustrated.
He's going to be not only frustrated, he's going to be mixed up, and actually his logic is going to disappear. We'll take another example. Someone is healthy, okay, but suddenly you come with news, but it's very exciting. You won a lottery for $50 billion. Why do people faint? Some people die from it. Why? Because the amount of life they receive at that moment, it's so exciting that the body cannot receive it. So the soul goes away from the body. Because it's so much life that the body cannot receive it. So each individual, what's the whites of one individual from the others? The kind and the amount of life we get. When we say that one thing is like that and the other thing is like that, what makes it? Because the life and this power, what that creature has, is totally different than the creature and the other creature. What makes the difference from each other? How limited it is. In what way it formed. Formed means limited. That's a form. So each individual has a different form than the others. Now, if we start to compare, how much does that table have compared to the creation of the universe? Can we compare it? Nothing to compare. So how does that little table get life and power from the universe? From the general creation that Hashem created the universe, and it comes down to such a little details in a sense because in the oral language, Lashon HaKodesh, yes, it is letters, but the letters is only the symbol. But actually, it's unlimited because it's part of the Torah and it's part of Hashem. It's His revelation. So it reveals itself in a lot of forms. And no one can say that form is right, that form is wrong. The same if you take light. If you're closer to the source of the light, like to the candle, the light is stronger. When it goes further away, the light gets skimmed because there's space, there's dirt in the air, so the light gets skimmed. So when it comes far away, the light is not as strong as in the beginning, right? So what someone will say it's less light, but less the amount of light. But in the figure of light, it's the same, it's light. But from the other side, you don't see the strength of the light when it's far away. You see it when it's close. What diminishes it? What makes it less? There's a screening system. In the sayings of Hashem and the power, there's also a screening system. What does it mean? When you say the letter Aleph, could be the original Aleph, but could be the translation of said, let's say, the alphabet could be Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, because according to the order. But could be that Aleph get exchanged with a Taf, at Bash. The Aleph get exchanged with the Taf, the Bet get exchanged with the Shin, and so on. Then could be the numerology of it. That could be the order. Like if you say Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, that's one kind of meaning. Then you start Bet, Aleph, Gimel, Dalet. They start Gimel, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet. And you keep on changing. How many times can you change? 21 times 11. Why? Because Aleph, Bet, and Bet, Aleph will end up the same. If you, let's say, you put first the Aleph, then the Bet, then Bet, and go the Aleph. So you cannot do it twice for Aleph and for Bet, because if you've done it for Aleph, you've done it for Bet. That's why it makes 11 times 21, so it's 231 gates. It means that every way you read the alphabet, it has a different meaning. So it's a different power, a different strength. And now, when we say Aleph, what kind of Aleph are we talking? The original Aleph?
Mm-hmm.
Or so that's different, that's translated. Why do we need it? Because every creation is very limited. If you give him a drop less or a drop more than he can perceive, he cannot exist. So everything has to have the exact power. So if you take a little sand at the beach, a drop of water in a pouring rain, each drop, its earth, sand, is measured exactly how much power he gets. Everything is judged. Everything is measured. Why? Because everything has the exact power from Hashem how to exist. And if it doesn't have exact, it will not be able. So in the final end, from where does each creation get the power? From the same source. The only difference is if it's a big creature, a high-level creature, he gets directly because it's high level, and he can receive the high level. But it's a lower level because it's more limited, then he cannot receive it. If he cannot receive it, he has to be translated to go down from level to level in the different ways. So we learn from there the name from each existence, from each creature. If it's in the holy language, Lashon HaKodesh, that actually is his life. Like, not like in other languages, that the name is only agreements, that we agree to call it the same sign, so it's only signs. In Lashon HaKodesh, the name is the actual life.
Wow, it's a big difference.
And the same thing, when we give a name to a person, it's also the connection between the soul and the body. And that's why it's so important to be called in the Jewish name. Because it depends on what way the soul reveals himself. In a Jewish mother and a non-Jewish mother. Because that's actually the contact. Each letter, that's the vessel, and it brings the light and the glory from the soul, from Hashem, in the creature. And that's why we see an interesting thing. When Adam was created, the Malachim came to Hashem and told him, what is the human being that you give your mind over them? Why do you have to remember him? Don't mind him. One day, look what's going to be with him. What is he? Nothing. He's so low. So Hashem told him, I'll show you his wisdom. How smart he is. And he gave names to each creation. And the verse says, Kol asher yikra lo Adam nefesh chaya u'shmo. That every one creature, the name that they gave him, that is his soul, that is his life. What was his wisdom and smartness, why it's so bright? Because he looked at each creature and he saw the source in the higher worlds. In other words, what is the name? The source, how it comes down. So he has to see what level the source is. And now it comes down to the creature. And the Malachim couldn't do it. But Adam Arishon could, because he saw in each thing, he saw the individual life and power and strength from Hashem, what gives him the existence in his life. And that name is very particular for each one. Because if he would not be able to exist. Because if he gets more than he is able to receive, then it gets diminished. Like the water doesn't come into the cup, like we get excited, we lose it. We cannot. If we get less, then we do not exist. So it has to be exactly the same. Now, who can calculate it? It's only Hashem. That they calculate for each individual, till it comes to each individual exact, and that's the name it's called. So what does it mean? That each individual creature is actually godliness. So that gives a very important in life. When we see food on the table, so really logically and the truth, do we see food or we see the power of Hashem? Of course we see food because we're very physical people, very materialistic. Mm-hmm. But the truth, what is it inside? Godliness. And that godly power is waiting for us. Mm-hmm. We should elevate him. How do we elevate him? When we use him in a positive manner, so we reveal the godliness. But if we fell for it and we go down, then we go down with it. And we schlep with us the power too. Because everything is really godly. And that's why even how to eat, the Torah tells us what manners we have to eat. How to eat, how much to eat, what kind of food, what should be important, what should not be important. Why? Because everything is godly. So either we bring it up, either we get pulled down with it together. Because everything has the exact